Honorable Speaker, I rise to respond to a request from the leader of the minority party last week regarding the status of disbursement of the NGCDF funds for the financial year 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, I have this statement from the CS National Treasury, Professor Ndung'U, that the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF, this financial year has been allocated a total of 44.3 billion in the national budget for the financial year 2022-2023. The National Treasury has, however, not disbursed any amounts of the voted provision for the financial year 2022-2023 due to a number of factors. First, he avers that we have experienced delays due to the transition to the new government following the general elections held on 9th August 2022. Second, despite the good revenue performance for the financial year 2021-2022, the Russian-Ukraine conflict exerted pressure on fuel and commodity prices, prompting the government to increase spending to cushion citizens. In addition, the war in Ukraine worsened the international financial market conditions, and as a result, we were unable to raise the expected resources from international markets. This, coupled with a delayed disbursement of funds from the IMF and shortfalls in domestic financing, meant that the financing for the financial year 2021-22 budget was lower by Kenya shillings 241.2 billion. As a result, the government carried over huge deficits, huge pending bills from the previous financial year amounting to 90 billion shillings, payment of which has been prioritized in this financial year. Secondly, the government is facing expenditure constraints and pressures from fuel subsidy, drought mitigation interventions, and salary budget shortfalls, as well as new priority programs for the incoming government, such as the establishment of the Hustler Fund, fertilizer subsidy, and pensions. The additional expenditure pressures are estimated at 117 billion. The National Treasury has, however, taken measures aimed at unlocking financing from both external and domestic markets, and there has been notable improvements. Going forward, therefore, the National Treasury will be able to reduce the outstanding unfunded exchequer requests. The National Treasury has also taken note of the Supreme Court decision on petition number 1 of 2018, delivered on 8th August 2022, in which a declaration was made that the CDF Act of 2013 was unconstitutional. It is not clear what the implication of this court decision is on application of NGCDF Act of 2015. The National Treasury has therefore requested for the legal opinion of the Attorney General on this matter, and in particular, the implication of the Supreme Court decision on the utilization of NGCDF budget for the financial year 2022-2023. The National Treasury has, however, not received feedback from the Office of the Attorney General. Finally, subject to the legal advice from the Office of the Attorney General, the National Treasury commits to disburse Kenya shillings 2 billion to the NGCDF every week, effective the week starting 21st November 2022. That statement, Honorable Speaker, is from the CS National Treasury. However, Honorable Speaker, as members may have noted from the statement, the National Treasury avers that they are preparing after getting an opinion, and he says, subject to the opinion of the Attorney General, the National Treasury and Economic Planning will embark on a disbursement plan aimed at disbursing at least 2 billion shillings. And I think this is what they have done when there has been a shortfall in terms of how much has been disbursed, is to prepare to disburse 2 billion shillings on a weekly basis to help catch up. But members may note that there is that proviso on subject to getting an opinion from the Office of the Attorney General. And Honorable Speaker, I do not want to dwell on that subject a lot because we have had discussions outside this plenary, Honorable Speaker, and I am aware we are yet to engage. And being that the matter is still in court on NGCDF Act of 2015, it will be important, even as we engage, Honorable Speaker, that we encourage the National Treasury, I think the AG's office is just across the road from the National Treasury, to quickly walk to the AG's chambers, get that opinion, and be able to advise the committee. And I would really want to encourage members that we leave this matter largely to be dealt with through committee. And I want to encourage Honorable Speaker, or ask that the chair of the NGCDF committee does immediately write to the Attorney General and the National Treasury CS, inviting them to a meeting between the two offices of the CS National Treasury and the Attorney General, and in one sitting they can thrash out the issues that are there, so that whatever opinion the AG may have, members can engage in committee with either the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and also the Attorney General, so that if there are any challenges, even the matters that are before the courts, either with the 2013 Act or even with the NGCDF Act, they can be able to engage at the committee and maybe advise us through the normal channels or even in plenary through a report on what actions that we ought to take. Honorable Speaker, it may not also be lost on members, and I think you had a communication to the effect on the debate that we have had on the proposal by the Honorable Mule and the Honorable Gishimu Githinji on NGCDF and GAF. And since there are challenges, and we may not bury our heads in the sand that there are no challenges, those challenges persist, and they are real, and therefore it is an engagement that I would really want us to ask the House that we do engage in another forum, either through committee and in the other informal engagements that we